Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have with us a very, very special guest, Deasha. Did I say it right?
Yes, you
Yes, I
nailed
did. Okay, fine. That's awesome. And she's going to talk to us about being able to generate traffic on social media without paid ads. That's something that I think everybody in our group will have some interest in. And so I look forward to all of you over on our Facebook group participating. And I want to take this moment to welcome some beautiful ladies who have taken the time to join us over here on the Zoom. I have Sarah and Shauna Lee. So I'm going to invite you both before we get started with finding out all about social media. Will you, Shauna Lee, just tell us who you are and what it is that you do? Just introduce yourself, please.
Sure, I'm Shauna Lee Kwashnok, and I am a professional portrait artist. I specialize in portraiture of pets or children, and I work in charcoals or oil paints. I can show you, I went to a Zoom meeting and I did a little oil painting of a dude here.
That's so nice.
And
Awesome.
this was a recent demonstration that I did of an oil painting of my cat.
Very nice. I love that. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to share you with the group as well, because I think that what you do can be really, really beneficial for all of us to definitely see ourselves in portrait, but definitely also to perhaps use our portraits as part of our promotion and marketing. So I think that could be a really, really good thing for us to talk about on one of these upcoming shows. That'll be great. Sarah, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
How far are you joining us from, Sarah?
I am in New York City.
Awesome.
Yes. So I am a retired healthcare administrator, probably retired for less than 6 months at this point, and decided to start a clothing business where I create in my own studio. As you can see some stuff here. I'm going to show you this one because I love this one. I create I guess, sophisticated jackets for women like us with cotton fabrics and then reversible ethnic prints. This is an Aboriginal print that I purchased, and I use either Aboriginal prints, Latin American prints, African prints, and I do kind of like most of them are double-sided, so you could wear them either way. So I'm just starting my business. Launched it sometime in October. And yes, I am having trouble with social media and Facebook ads, money, 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 and the traffic. So I'm not sure I'm doing it right. So
wonderful. You're in the right place.
I love it.
The clothing looks wonderful.
Yes, and I love that it's reversible. That is so cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, Deasha, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And I would love to invite you to share with everyone, who are you and what is it that you do in the world?
Yeah, so I live in Manchester in the UK right now. Usually I like to, but in Manchester in the UK, in England. Yeah, so usually I like to travel and I would much prefer to be on a beach, but you know, COVID. So I'm in the miserable winter of England. So yeah, and I am a social media and business coach. I am trained by Facebook to run national training events for them across the UK, across the whole suite of apps, so Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. I also consult on helping people to make sales through organic marketing. And although I work very closely with Facebook on all of their stuff, I don't want you guys to pay for them. Zuckerberg is rich enough, right? So I want you guys to be able to get sales and build your business organically and do that in a way that feels natural and aligned for you. I myself started off as a social media manager back in 2016, and I was helping out with other people's business, running all of their social media stuff. And it was fantastic, but my prices were increasing and I was working with 6 and 7 figure businesses. So the teams that I had to work with were huge, and we were doing all of this cool campaign stuff, and it was great, but I felt so disconnected from what I was doing in my business to attract these clients. And I wanted to help smaller businesses be able to do what I was doing and find these clients really easily without having that whole big team and a whole intensive campaign structure and all of the rest of it. I wanted to be able to do it in a more natural way that feels good for us as well, solo entrepreneurs on our own, occasionally, maybe a VA to help out.
I see. So, Deasha, tell me, how can we be visible without actually running ads? How do we do that?
Yeah, so there are a few ways to do it. The first thing is content, creating content that is resonates with our audience. So whatever your audience is and how you communicate with them, knowing who that audience is specifically. And when I say like knowing who your audience is, the massive difference between having a successful organic campaign and not having a successful organic campaign comes down to really knowing who you want to work with. And that is because of the language that you use in the content that you share. So if your age range, for example, in the people that you want to work with are between 18 and 65, well, they have a whole bunch of different words and different communication styles in the way that an 18-year-old communicates to a 65-year-old. So if you're just shooting out in the breeze trying to attract all of those people, you're not going to attract any of them because you're going to miss the mark on every single person. Whereas if you say, okay, I'm going to target 25-year-olds, then you can use the language that those people are using in your content, and they will be like, she's talking to me. Rather than, I mean, I'm 34 and there are things that 18-year-olds say that I'm like, is that even English? No. So if somebody was trying to target an 18-year-old and they were using those words, I would be like, they're obviously not trying to target me because I don't know what that's saying. So you have to think of that. That's why I always say knowing who it is you want to work with really intimately is the biggest thing. So if you can target, and you can have one person in mind, you can say, okay, I am gonna target one person. Her name's gonna be Sally. She is a mum of 2 and she lives here. She's in these sort of income brackets. And obviously you don't have to only work with Sally's, but that gives you an idea content-wise of the type of person that you're talking to, and you can reflect that in all of your marketing. So Sarah, for example, if you're talking about your clothing and you're talking to a mum, you can say it's reversible, so when your kid throws up on you, you can just turn it inside out and it's going to be fine. Like that's, whereas an 18-year-old is going to be like, I don't care if no kid's coming near me to throw off on me, so it's fine. So that sort of thing where you can really, and then a mom is going to look at that and go, oh my God, that is genius.
Well, you just said that, and I thought to myself, oh my God, that's perfect.
See, so being really specific and who you want to target is going to make that difference so much easier for you to make those sales, because that person's going to go, oh my gosh, yeah, she's talking to me. I'm a mom that my kid throws up on me all the time. Yeah, I need that. So that is going to make a massive difference if you can get really clear on the person. So that is step 1 of any organic strategy.
I feel like that's good business in general, just know who you're talking to and be able to speak their language. What else would you suggest that we focus in on? What's step 2?
Yeah, so with Facebook right now, your organic reach on a Facebook business page is going to be crap. They want you to pay, and that's that. On average, your posts on your Facebook business page will reach about 4% of the people that follow your page. So even if you've got 1,000 people following you on your business page, 4% of those are going to actually see that post, unless it's an amazing post that gets lots of interactions and lots of engagement. So with that in mind, we use our personal Facebook pages to leverage that. So, and there are ways to protect.
Use your personal page to, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So, for example, when people are inside your group, they join your group as a person. So it means that you can connect with people on a more personal level. And nowadays, the way the marketing world is going, we are connecting with people far more than we're connecting with big brands, big faceless brands. And you can even see that in some of the large corporations, you know, even Tesla, like we have the figurehead of Tesla where we all, whatever his name is, you know, you all know.
No one knows who you're talking about. No one at all.
So, but even the big, large brands, their figureheads are becoming more prominent because people buy from people. So we can leverage that as small people because we don't have a massive corporation to worry about. So we should be putting ourselves out there as whole humans and whole individuals and our personalities and owning that and being our quirky, weird selves. And people will buy from you as a quirky, weird individual because they resonate with you and your product and your service and buy from you that way. So using your personal profile in a way that protects your family, so you don't have to share everything with the entire world if you don't want to. I know like women with children don't want their kids on being seen by everybody and all that sort of stuff. So you can protect that to start with. But if you are going into Facebook groups as your personal profile, which most people do going into Facebook groups as yourself, then make sure that when people are nosy, because naturally we're nosy, right? We're humans. Then when they are nosy and they go and check out your personal profile, it is really obvious how they can connect with you or work with you, what the next steps are for them. So whether that's sending you a friend request, sending you a message, going to your website, or joining a group, whatever it is for you to get people to move to that next step, make that available on your personal profile, even without them being a friend. And there are ways that you can do that I can go into. But without them being a friend, you want them to be able to see what the next steps are that you want them to take. When you are sharing, even when you're sharing posts, and I always make sure that people do an audit of their personal profile before they start doing these sorts of things, because you'll find that if you haven't curated your feed, so what shows up when it's public to everybody else who's not your friend, often what shows up is those surveys that you did, or the quizzes that you did, or the tag that somebody did who shared something that was MLM and tagged you in it 3 years ago. Those are the sorts of things that actually show up that people can see that aren't your friends. So go in and be aware of that, and then curate your feed. So I, for example, specifically changed some of my posts on my personal feed to public, so that when those stalkers come and check out my profile, they can see some posts that are public. So what I want them to see without them being my friend. That way, so if I've got a specific picture, Shauna Lee, for example, you could use a specific picture that you share on your personal profile that you post as public. And when people come and see you, they're like, oh my God, that cat is beautiful. I really want that. And they can send you a message because they can see that image and they can see that post. Whereas if they weren't your friend, they wouldn't be able to see it and wouldn't be able to connect to that as well. So you can curate what they can see as a public person before they've even crossed the boundaries of being your friend. And by being in these groups and talking to other women and other entrepreneurs and networking in Facebook groups, that is a massive market that you're missing out on those lurkers and the stalkers. We love the lurkers.
We love the lurkers. That's hilarious. So this is all really, really good information. I just want to take a moment to say hello to all our friends who are joining us over on our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. I want to say thank you all for joining. I do have a question for you from Lillian over on our Facebook group. And she says, I have 33,000 followers, I'm guessing, and I don't reach most of them, and I post daily. How can she improve that? How can she improve her reach since she has such a big following?
Yeah, so on your Facebook page, if you have a big following, first I would ask, did you buy any of those followers? Because if you bought them, you won't get access to them. They won't see your content. And if you didn't, great. Because that's one of the first things that people come to me and say, oh, I've got 15,000 followers, but they have bought 10,000 of them. So as long as you didn't buy them, then we're looking at content. So the types of content that work well on a Facebook page are videos. If you can do video content, live content, a live video gets 238% more engagement than a pre-recorded video.
So say that again. Tell me that statistic again, because as you are telling me all this stuff, I'm posting it in our Facebook group. So please repeat.
Yeah, so 238% more engagement on a live video than on a pre-recorded video.
Okay.
So live is always better. You can do lives than a pre-recorded video. I know people get nervous about going live. I have clients that like, oh, I just record it first and then I post it. Just go live. Just do it. We're all at home. This is the perfect time to have messy lives because everybody is at home in the same situation. So
love that you said that, because I do not have that problem. Everybody who knows me knows that, oh my goodness, we need to take the microphone away from her, as opposed to trying to get me to work up the courage to actually hop on to a live. I will go live all day long. It's just, will anybody really listen to that? But the thing is that people do get self-conscious, and I think you're absolutely right. This is the perfect time to take advantage of the technology tools that we have, because everybody is giving everybody grace. The other day, my husband was on a Zoom call with CEO of one of the biggest companies in America, and my toddler walks in and he wants to know how to print something on the computer from his remote learning tablet. And
yeah, it's life, right?
This is everybody's life right now. I was listening to, I think it was a podcast the other day, and there was a woman who was saying she was on a Zoom call with a prime minister, and in walks her toddler who needed something. And it's just life.
Yeah.
So go ahead, do that live right now. My toddler is having his lunch and he's going to go right back to school. So if you guys happen to hear him in the background, yay for you. You just had a treat.
Exactly. Like doorbell goes, dog barks. My dog sits behind my laptop. So when anybody's dog barks in the background, your dog can be a mile away from you. My dog will hear it. And because he sits behind my laptop, he outbarks anybody else. And I'm like, sorry.
And it's fine. And it's happening with everybody because most people are working from home. And so everybody's giving everybody a whole lot of grace on that. So take the opportunity. I like to believe that we are all here to make a difference, and that the content that we are putting out is actually helpful for the people who are looking for us, the people who are losing sleep at night because they really need to connect with us. So in a way, I'm going to challenge you all. How dare you not go live? How dare you not allow the people who need you to have the opportunity to connect with you? That's my approach to all of this. But please continue. What else can we do to get traffic without paying for it?
Yeah. So video content on your Facebook page, and tagging people. If you can tag anybody in posts or share, cross promote any posts, that is also great. What I don't recommend you do is share your business pages posts into other places, because it just seems spammy and nobody really cares.
Okay.
So if you're going to post, just post it natively into that group from your personal profile or on your personal profile and post it there. Because what we want to get away from is the standing on a pulpit and preaching mentality that has seemed to have spread into social media where people are like, everybody should just listen to me because I am amazing and you should all bow down and I'm just going to stand here and spout stuff out to you. We have to get back into the social aspect of social media and being a human and listening to people and having those conversations and engaging and stuff. That is something that we're massively missing. And over the whole past year, people have realized even more than ever before that they're missing that social connection that social media was supposed to be designed for. So get back to being a human and, you know, having conversations on comments. Like Facebook loves it if you can have a conversation in a thread in your posts. So if you can have a conversation about anything in the comments of your post, Facebook like, oh, this person seems to be interesting, and followers or, you know, friends like what she's posting and they're conversing. So if there is a string of conversations, Facebook like, oh yeah, they're obviously really liking what she's saying, and we'll push it up more and more people will see it. So be a social person, be a human, and interact with people on the comments on posts. That goes for Facebook and Instagram and anywhere else you post as well. Just get back to being a human, being a nice person, and sharing that engagement as well.
I'm going to agree with that, Deasha, because, you know, a lot of the times our Facebook group is open, certainly, for our members to post about their businesses. But the biggest, I think that people get the most business out of our group when they go in with the intention to have conversation. So yes, posting something about your business is great, but being a part of the conversation actually helps people to connect with you in a different way and be more likely to, the next time they see your post, actually engage with it, actually pay attention to it, as opposed to just scrolling through the feed. And sometimes, I'm gonna be totally honest, sometimes when our gatekeeper sees posts, she'll look to see if the people who are posting their posts are actually engaging with the group. And if they haven't been engaging, she might let through other posts more readily. Yeah. And I mean, I have never told her to do this, but she does it because she thinks that people who engage should have the opportunity to be seen up front.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the strategies that I teach is about going into Facebook groups and being active to attract clients. But I always tell people, and I am a big believer that you shouldn't spend all of your time on social media. Like, you have actual jobs to do, right? You have actual things, actual lives to live, right?
Do we?
I love social media, but I know we have other things to do. So I teach people to go into a group, be a human in that group for 15 minutes, but set a timer so you're not losing yourself and then hours pass. Set a timer, be a human in that group for 15 minutes, and then share your value. And when I say share your value, I literally mean value. I don't mean share your business sales post. I mean share a tip or value or something informative for that audience. And then timer goes off, 15 minutes past, go to the next group. Do 2 groups a day. And these groups have to be full of your ideal clients and connecting with where your ideal clients are. 2 groups a day, that'll take you half an hour every day. And you'll have done 10 groups every week.
I love that tip. That tip is amazing. You know, we could have this conversation for a really long time, and I'm going to have to invite you back for us to continue it. But before you go, could you just give us one more tip? If there's one thing that we can stay focused on until you come back next time, what would that one thing be?
Find at least 5 to 10 groups you love hanging out in, and be active in them, be a human in them, and connect with people in them. When you're looking for these groups, make sure it's groups that your ideal clients are hanging out in, and 2, you actually like being there and it's a good vibe. Because there's no good being in a group you don't like, right? Or that the people are whingy or whining. You're like, ugh, this is just hard work. You want to be in a group that you enjoy the energy of. So find groups that you like, find groups your ideal clients are hanging out in, that they've got some good stuff going on, and then commit to being active in them. And then if it doesn't work, if it's not a good group for you, switch it out for another one and keep that rotation going.
I love that. So you think we can have you back? I mean, you're amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, anytime. I'm always welcome to come back.
Will you share with us any promotions or anything that you have to plug, anything that we can use to connect with you in between now and when we see you again?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a challenge that I've just run last week in my group. It's still available. So if you sign up, you still get access to all of the information. And it was a 4-figure sales challenge. So if you're a service-based entrepreneur looking to make 4-figure sales, then this challenge is for you. And it's 3 days where we go through exactly all of the steps you need to make these sales with ease, without a whole bunch of sales calls. I'm not a fan of sales calls. I don't know if anybody else is. I hate them. So I structure my business in a way that people just come to me and slide into my DMs to work with me rather than me having to go out and hunt for them. So that's what the challenge is all about. And I have a group program starting on Monday that is 5 weeks long and takes you through the exact process that I use to go into groups, use the content, and get those 4-figure sales within 5 weeks.
Awesome. What's your website?
socialtreats.co.uk.
Awesome. So what I'm going to invite you to do is to hop on into our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group and just engage with the ladies that are over there and give some information about your upcoming event, and so that we can all take advantage of it, because I'm sure you've only just scratched the surface and there is so much more that we could learn from you. Shauna, Sarah, did you get any great takeaways from today? Anything that's standing out for you from what Deasha had to share with us?
Yeah, I think it's really important to understand the language of your age group that you're targeting. That's something that I know I haven't even thought about. And I would never have thought about making the posts from my personal page as opposed to from my business page.
Yeah.
Right.
But it speaks to the way the algorithm runs now. And so we really appreciate you giving us that little behind the scenes tip, Deasha. Sarah, what about you? Any?
I'm just going to echo what Shauna Lee said. Those are the 2 takeaways for me that were like light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
Know your target. My target is 40-year-olds maybe and older. So I have to target that. And also working from my Facebook page, which as opposed to my business page, which I have a lot more fun stuff and I'm a little bit more human in my personal page.
Awesome. Well, I think those are great takeaways. My favorite is to do 2 groups a day. That really limits it for me. It really makes it so simple when you just choose 2 groups. You do your 2 groups every day. That consistency really pays off. I love that. Deasha, it's been a pleasure. Ladies, it's been so wonderful having you. Everybody over on Facebook, you guys are awesome. Thanks for all the likes and the hearts and all that fun stuff. And we look forward to having you back at another day so you can teach us some more. In the meantime, I invite everybody to hop on over to her website and check it out, because she's going to have some great stuff for us over there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And our next show starts in half an hour. So we have a break for half an hour. And at 12:30, we're going to hop on for Free Gift Fridays. I hope you all can join us again then. Talk to you soon. Bye.